Chip of the day from Panasonic. It's a coil type EMI filter. Now, I did a video once before about these types of filters. I showed one that was kind of a ferrite bead and a capacitor to ground, and then a ferrite bead and a T arrangement. And this one is similar. This one is a ER103FA. It says 500 kilohertz, and we'll talk about what that means. Let me show you the block diagram. Let's see. Right here, so it's a coil and a capacitor to ground a coil. So it lets through DC, but then it rolls off all AC stuff, so it's nice for buffering power supplies and things like that. And you can get various versions that have different cutoffs. So some are better at low frequencies, some are better at high frequencies. So if you have a fast clock you want to send through this thing, you might want one of these that lets through maybe 100 megahertz signal, but then attenuates past that. If you want to filter, say, a DC power supply, then you want one of these, which right, you know, in the kilohertz region, it's already cutting off. And so you can filter everything that you don't want. So let's see here. Let's take a look at these things. They're kind of odd, and they are rectangular, but when you put them on a PC board, they set vertical, and so they're very, very hard to actually put on the PC board. They want to fall over, especially as the solder paste starts to turn into solder. It can like lift up the part off the board if you have too much. So yeah, it's a tricky little part to put down. But let me show you some pictures under the microscope here. You can see that it actually uses a regular capacitor, and then it's stuck inside this thing with some plastic. So you know, how is that accomplished? It looks kind of strange. So let's look at this picture here. It kind of explains it. They have a kind of a lead frame that's kind of bent in a serpentine fashion that creates an inductor, and then that chip capacitor sits in here, and there's another one on the other side, so you have inductor, capacitor, inductor. So yeah, that's pretty strange. So we need to hook one up so we can measure it. So I've built a little test jig here, and so we have SMA in and out, and we can see how this thing operates. So let's get it over onto the VNA. All right, I don't know if you remember the Murata part. I did a video on those, and people wish that I had done an S21 measurement on that device. I was using S11 to kind of look at things, but let's go ahead and use that old part as a beginning here, and we'll take a look at him. Oops. All right, so here's the old Murata part. And you can see that it dips and comes back up. So this is up to 1.3 gigahertz here. So let's put a marker. And so it dips around 120 megahertz. So this one rolls off quite quickly as well. So let's go to frequency, stop frequency, let's say 250 megahertz. And you can see there that we're right from the get-go, this is 300, it starts at 300 kilohertz, but right from the get-go it's falling. And so this one passes DC, but it's blocking everything else, and it does so in a great fashion. So if we do a stop frequency here, if we zoom in even further, you can see that minus 20 dB of attenuation is happening around 9 megahertz, so this is rolling off quite quickly. But maybe that's not quick enough. Maybe you want to buffer out things that are even a slower clock than 9 megahertz. And that's where this little part is going to work better. It's specified at 500 kilohertz, so let's see how that pans out. There we go, and you can see the minus 20 dB point is happening at about 5 kilohertz, 5 megahertz, something like that. So let's take a look at the minus 3 dB point. So let's do stop frequency of, let's do 10 megahertz. There we go, and I'll turn on the marker and look for 3 dB right here. And 3 dB is happening about there, which is happening around 600 kilohertz. So, okay, so 500 kilohertz, 600 kilohertz, I'd say it's within tolerance. So, yeah, you can see that it's rolling off a bit at lower frequencies, so has a larger capacitor. All right, so we basically were creating this graph here. And we have the 103 part, so we should be following this line here. So this is 1 megahertz, and at 1 megahertz, it's about down here. It's about minus 5 dB. So they don't even go over far enough to see that 500 kilohertz region. But yeah, we should be following this line here. I think they discontinued making these, probably because they're so darn hard to put on the PC board. They're a real pain. But anyway, that was chip of the day, an ELK EA103FA coil type EMI filter.